Don McCune was always an athlete. Baseball and bowling took up most of his time, but when he hurt his knee in the Army, it was bowling that took center stage.
The first pro tournament I bowled as an amateur, I made $300 back in those days, you know. And even more so after I signed with the Hams beer team. And you would try to get on the best team you could get on because you're going to make more money that way. You know? And you get I think we won the national team title in '65 with the Hams beer team.
In 1968, Don won his first Eagle at the Open Championships, the same year he won his first PBA title. The next year, he and Jim Stefanich won a doubles title. Things were starting to take off.
Jim Stefanich and I and a couple other guys, we actually won it, bowling against all the hot shots. So following year, Jim Stefanich and I won the classic doubles. So at that time, we were a couple of guys that won two titles, like titles back-to-back years.
Don would add his second PBA title in 1970, but then lightning struck.
So Don McCune is the champion.
Don McCune started winning in 1973, and he didn't stop. 6 titles in one season and named Bowler of the Year. As it turned out, Don had a secret weapon. By soaking his ball in a chemical called toluene, he could soften the cover to the point that the ball would react more than anyone else's. The soaker became a thing of legend.
In 1971, I think, the lane surfaces changed to a little harder substance. I used a chemical to soften the ball up. Once I did, I could leave it in there in a bucket for 5 days and wouldn't hurt it. Yeah, even though I had a little advantage, you still have to go out there and knock the pins down.
We knew he was soaking it in something, but nobody knew what. And one year, Carmen says, he's probably using gasoline, so everybody had their balls out there in gasoline, soaking their balls in gasoline. That didn't work. Nobody knew what it was. I mean, I asked a friend of mine, and we all tried something, but it wasn't the same thing.
The PBA quickly made a rule change about the hardness of the ball that made the soaker illegal. It was a tough time for Don, but the titles were won without breaking any rules, and there could have been more.
They could have waited till I bowled the rest of the fall tour, because they could. I still won Bowl of the Year, but I could have had. In fact, I did finish second in one tournament without it, but I didn't like it naturally. But you either play by their rules or you go home.
Now, 40 years after that amazing season, Don McCune enters the USBC Hall of Fame as a trailblazing figure. What he did in a bucket in the 70s started an equipment revolution that changed the game forever.
I think Don is a great bowler, all right? And he was good for the game, believe it or not. He helped the sport create, a lot of new stuff in that. I think Don just had the vision of this to improve his game, and I give the man credit. I mean, he was smart enough to do it.
Ain't gonna beat this man today.
This is quite gratifying because this is one of the associations that I first joined. I've been a card-carrying member since I started bowling, so this is very gratifying.